It promises to be a tasteful experience. The blend of gourmet food, wine, spirits, along with a side of celebrity chefs, all rolled into a one-day extravaganza. The Paradise Coast Food and Wine Experience on Naples 5th Avenue South will kick off our show with Tim on the Town. Our In the Know guy is a walking, talking restaurant encyclopedia. Tim gives us a taste of next weekend's experience.
Velko,
Nice
he's the
to meet
owner
you.
of the Sales Restaurant.
Oh, very nice. I know Tim knows everybody on the strip here.
If you want to find out any information about any of the restaurants, anything what's going on here in Naples, you just ask Tim.
Then what's fine food without good drink? An expert serves up tips on how to fully enjoy the experience. But first, you have to start whining.
You just put your nose in the glass. You can't be embarrassed about it.
Plus, a brand that's larger than life, it's Martha Stewart. Perfection around the home. We're sharing your Martha moments. We'll have those stories along with the latest in our Positively Healthy Medical series. I'm Amy Osher, and this is Behind the Headlines. I'm Amy Osher. Thanks for joining us. Eat, drink, and be merry. It sums up the food and wine experience set for this Saturday, November 11th, presented by the Naples Daily News and the Fort Myers News Press. This super-size event should satisfy your inner foodie. It is so beautiful out here. This is really quintessential Naples, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is. It's great. This is where everybody has to come through, even if you're just a tourist and you're going to drive through. But a lot of people love to do just what we're doing, stopping and walking, because you can window shop, you have all these different businesses, and it's, of course, great restaurants, which is really what it's all about, what we're talking about today.
And now this is where they're going to have it blocked off?
It's going to be all the way up and down what people think of normally as Fifth Avenue South. It will be the entire street from 3rd Street South all the way up to 9th Street.
And a lot of good restaurants on this street too,
oh, yeah.
as well?
There's quite a few that are participating. There's at least a half dozen participating directly in this event.
I hear you talking about the French quite a bit. Are they going to be taking part?
Yes, they are actually. The French restaurant and is it's owned and operated by Chef Vincenzo Betulia. So not only is the French, but also his Osteria Tulia restaurant and Bar Tulia are going to be involved. So would you like to meet Chef Vincenzo Betulia?
Absolutely.
All right, good. Here he is. Hey, Chef, how you doing?
Hi, Tim. How are you? Good to see
you.
Good.
This is Amy Osher.
Hi, Amy. Pleasure.
It's Behind the Headlines. So, yeah, do you have a moment? We just wanted to chat with you about our new Paradise Coast Food and Wine Experience.
Certainly.
It's going to be on the street.
You just caught me.
All right, good. But yeah, this is of course, our inaugural event for this, and we're going to be blocking off 5th Avenue.
Yeah.
And I know that you have at least 2 of your 3 restaurants are involved, right?
Yep, we do. Yeah.
What do you plan personally for this event coming up?
Well, I know that we're going to do a demo, so we always like to kind of get involved with the culinary scene. So it's funny because when I'm trying to design the dish for the demo, and of course, really not knowing how many people are going to be here because it's an inaugural event. I think we're going to do a dish where it features both Italian and French cuisine. So we're going to make a pasta. It's a pasta actually that we feature here at the French. It's a bucatini with frutta di mare. So it's a mixture of a seafood, and it'll encapsulate coastal French and of course the roots of Italian pasta.
Oh, that's good.
So I think that with this event being on 5th Avenue in the heart of Naples, it's going to bring some attention to the culinary side of things here. It's going to attract the tourism side and make people a little bit more aware that we are here and that we're an up-and-coming market.
So nice to meet him.
Yeah, he's great. So he's a very talented chef. He's one of the closest chefs we have to what I would call a celebrity chef, a local celebrity chef. So
nice.
Very up and coming. He's still young and has look forward to what he's going to do in the future. So this, of course, is the intersection of 5th and 3rd, which is one of the main parts of Naples. And when you continue down 3rd this way is where 2 other restaurants that are involved in the event are located, which are Sea Salt and Barbatella. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to be part of this event as well. since it is inaugural, it's hard to tell, but I think as it grows, I think this is one of those events that's going to be very popular and will be a major event for this area.
When you start bringing in celebrity chefs and Martha Stewart's products and stuff, it's really goes beyond a local event.
Oh yeah, and I think in subsequent years we'll get Martha Stewart herself here. I mean, right now she has a representative chef coming, but I think eventually that we will see her.
Here's what you need to know about the inaugural Food and Wine experience. First, it will shut down 5th Avenue between 1 and 4 on Saturday, November 11th. The event features gourmet tastings, cooking demos, educational opportunities, shopping, and a chance to meet members of Martha's team. For event packages and pricing, we've created a direct link on our website. While trendy restaurants are enjoying the spotlight, the wine scene is not to be outshined. Seems Southwest Floridians are enjoying a taste of the grape.
Southwest Florida is a great wine area, and I think having things like so many different auctions that have gotten national and international attention has kind of upped the IQ, so to speak.
Wine correspondent Gina Birch knows what she speaks of. She pours her passion in wine into words, writing columns for the Fort Myers News Press following the grapevine.
There are a lot more local boutique wine shops now than there were, say, 6-7 years ago. So that gives us more opportunity to learn, go in and hang out for an afternoon and taste some wines.
Store tastings are a great entry point. Sampling also works.
Another thing you can do when you're at one of your favorite restaurants, don't be shy. Ask the bartender, can I have a little taste of that by the glass?
Gina advises newbies to look for balance, a taste that doesn't overwhelm.
It's nice, smooth, and you've got a little bit of acid, you've got fruit, you've got a little tannins, you just got a little bit of structure in there that just makes your mouth feel happy.
There are rules when it comes to enjoying wine, but they aren't black and white.
And people still love to say, you know, whites with fish and fowl and reds with meats and that, but it all depends on the sauce when you really get down to it. It's what is in that sauce, because if you have a fish that's got tomatoes and really a heavy salty sauce, then you know a red wine might be good with it, a softer red wine, not a big tannic Cabernet.
Gina is also big on changing wines throughout the meal.
Oh, Timber Bay, this is a really lovely wine.
Accenting different courses.
I'm a big advocate of having something lighter like a rosé or some bubbles at the beginning, and with a salty cheese board, and then when you have a heavier course, a meatier course, something you need a little more substantial red to stand up to it, and then at the end, yeah, have a nice dessert wine. I think they're underrated.
If you want to wine and dine with the in crowd, you have to master this. Can you kind of show us the basics of how you would do a proper tasting?
Sure. So you would have your wines lined up, and typically you would start lightest and as far as the body is concerned, all the way up to the more heavy wines.
Now dive into the swirl.
You pour a little bit, and one of the things you always look at the color.
The sniff.
You just put your nose in the glass. You can't be embarrassed about it.
And slurp.
You just get the air, kind of aerated in your mouth, and it explodes the flavor.
With a few basics in hand,
you don't do this. I mean, you get your fingerprints on it and you change the temperature of the wine.
You're ready to uncork, unwind, and enjoy the finer parts of wine.
It sometimes just breaks barriers. I don't know what it is about it, about the creation of the wine. It opens communication, it brings people together, and it's fun.
We've covered food, we've covered wine, but there's more. The experience is also a showcase of all things Martha Stewart. The Lifestyle Queen is a featured partner, bringing products, tools, and her chefs to Naples. It got us buzzing around the newsroom. Who hasn't compared themselves to Martha? From cooking to crafting and home decor, Martha Stewart is master of her domain name as well. Her brand is synonymous with domestic perfection. So when you do something really well, maybe Martha would approve. We hit up social media asking folks to share a few of their Martha moments. Shirlene in Naples takes pride in her cookie presentation, while Jency in Fort Myers thinks her spotless home would pass Martha's white glove test. Surprisingly, a few men chimed in. Ian in Fort Myers shared a picture of his felted soap. Okay, I had to look that one up. You take a bar of soap, wrap it in wool, which mats down and undergoes a felting process. The end product serves as soap and washcloth. Next up, Guy from Naples is bragging on his chicken tortellini soup. And finally, Julie from Estero is proud and a little embarrassed by how awesome her margaritas are. Coming up, new ways to treat problematic kidney stones. That's up after the break.
Life here is amazing, and so is the joint care. At the Total Joint Center at Physicians Regional Healthcare System, we've changed the experience of joint replacement for good. With our comprehensive joint care program, most hip and knee replacement patients return home in just 2 days, because we know you want to get on with your active life. Pain-free living starts at Physicians Regional Medical Center, Collier Boulevard, and Physicians Regional Medical Center, Pine Ridge.
Hiring the right moving company is important. Best Moving and Storage is a family-owned and operated business serving Southwest Florida for over 22 years. From our free in-home estimate until the last piece of furniture is in your new place or stored in our climate-controlled warehouse, we treat you like family. Best Moving and Storage is fully licensed and insured, with all of our employees being certified drivers and packers. When it comes to protecting your treasured belongings, choose a company that's experienced and trustworthy. Call Best Moving and Storage today at 239-592-6565.
My name is Steve Unser, and cabinetry is my specialty. I have been creating custom designed cabinetry for 20 years in Southwest Florida, and now I am celebrating the grand opening of our new Naples showroom. Steve Unser Cabinetry will help you design your kitchen, bath, or home office with stunning results, offering the best quality of cabinets with a wide variety of design options and pricing to fit any budget. If your kitchen isn't becoming to you, you should be coming to us. Now, 2 locations to serve you.
Up to 12% of this country's population will experience a kidney stone. For many, it will be an extremely painful experience, one that requires medical treatment. In this week's Positively Healthy, we look at newer options to remove big problems. Each year, more than 500,000 Americans go to the emergency room only to find out they have a kidney stone. When do kidney stones start causing a problem for you?
They tend to start causing a problem when you present in pain.
It sounds simplistic, but a kidney stone becomes a bother when it starts moving. Depending upon the size of the stone, you can watch it or treat it.
Stone passage rates vary, but the general rule of thumb is any stone 5 to 6 millimeters or larger probably should be addressed surgically.
Dr. Barclay Story is a board-certified urologist who's using technology to his patients' advantage with enhanced versions of proven treatments, including shockwave lithotripsy.
We take focused sound waves and we focus them to a point right where the stone is, and we sort of vibrate it till it fractures. So the newer machine has a much larger focal plane and is able to break much bigger stones.
Another enhanced technology involves the PCNL, a method requiring a percutaneous or puncture in the back to access a stone.
The advances come in the fact that recently in the area, I started offering something called a mini perc is what it's referred to. It's the exact same as an old PCNL, except the hole we have to get into is about 1/3 of the size.
These newer alternatives aimed at large kidney stones are treating a painful condition while offering patients a less painful recovery. A major stroke wasn't enough to sideline legendary photographer Clyde Butcher. Known for showcasing Florida landscapes, swamps in particular, it was a benefit for the Big Cypress National Preserve that prompted his first public outing since his major medical crisis last May. Butcher greeted fans and signed autographs at his Big Cypress Gallery in Ochopee. His 3rd annual open house was also a fundraiser for the preserve. It was an event he feels lucky to attend. The iconic photographer is still recovering from a massive stroke that impacted his movement and speech. Progressing gradually from bed to walker and cane, Butcher has been back in his beloved swamps taking photos again. You can read more on Clyde Butcher's return by checking out Ashley Collins' story in the Daily News. Our news team is always searching far and wide for stories that are important to you. Here's a quick look at other things our reporters are covering on the beat.
Thanks, Amy. So residents in Collier County are getting more and more frustrated with the wait for FEMA here following Hurricane Irma. Wait times on the phone to register or to schedule an inspection are reaching up to 4 hours where people are put on hold. And even worse than that is these inspections are taking up to 45 days now to schedule. So that means people who lost their homes now have to wait more than a month, well over a month, to get a necessary inspection done to be put in a FEMA trailer or a hotel or an apartment. So it's that really slow and agonizing wait now for Collier County residents. Find out more about that on naplesnews.com.
Hi, I'm Ashley Collins. I'm a reporter with the Collier Citizen. This past week I sat down with Shelly Church for our latest hashtag Southwest Florida Strong, which is part of a series where we profile people in the community making a positive difference. Shelly has hit the $1 million mark where she's raised funds for the American Heart Association in honor of her son, who had a congenital heart condition when he was young, and he died at age 18. For more on this story, visit naplesnews.com.
Hi, I'm Shelby Reynolds. I'm a features reporter at the Naples Daily News, and in yesterday's paper you'll find a story I worked on about a husband and wife floral design team. The name of their business is called Kaleidoscope Floral. They started about 2 years ago, and in just this last month they opened up their own design studio here in Naples. So you can find that story in yesterday's paper or online at naplesnews.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Eric Statz. I'm the environment reporter at the Naples Daily News. I'm working this week on a story looking at Governor Scott's proposal to spend $100 million in his budget next year on beaches. About half of that money would go to repair beaches damaged from Hurricane Irma. The other half would go to the Department of Environmental Protection's annual program that sends money to local communities to help keep their beaches nice and wide. The big question here is how far will $100 million go given the amount of damage that Irma delivered to the beaches in Florida, and on top of the 64 requests from local governments this year to get help from the DEP. If you want to know more about this story, you can read about it in today's Naples Daily News or go to naplesnews.com.
Commentaries are his thing. Here's Brent Batten.
Thanks, Amy. So, how was your Halloween? And by that I mean, how much candy did your kid bring home that you were eventually able to commandeer? If you're like me, it usually goes something like this. Your little trick-or-treater comes home with a sack full of loot and dumps it on the floor. He or she then sorts through the stuff, separating it into piles. The high-end stuff, chocolate bars, Reese's Cups, things like that, in one pile. Mid-grade stuff, Dum-Dums, Tootsie Rolls, licorice, in a second pile, and the low-end stuff, pretzels, raisins, and other healthy choices in a third pile. You immediately swoop in and gather up half the first two piles. Too much of this stuff is bad for you, you explain, and you spirit it off as if to donate it to the troops or some such noble gesture. In truth, you're hiding it for your personal consumption. As the week wears on, your kid eats the good stuff first, then moves on to the second and then the third tier treats. And you do the same. So by now, a few days after Halloween, you're eyeballing your last Snickers Mini and wondering if your kid will miss a chocolate bar or two if you raid his stash. It's either that or lower your standards and start in on the lollipops and the pixie sticks. I vote for raiding the stash and requisitioning more of the chocolate for yourself. After all, too much of that stuff is bad for children. And they've always got the pretzels and the raisins to fall back on. I'm Brent Batten. Be sure to read my columns on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays in the Naples Daily News. And as always, thanks for watching.
Sure tastes good. Now experts say chocolate is actually good for you. No, really, it's true. That story is coming up on Behind the Headlines.
Find the lifestyle you love at Bears during Tommy Bahama Month. Save half off on all Tommy Bahama and Lexington designs. Hurry in for spectacular values, like this queen bed for $16.89 or this island-inspired sofa just $19.98. Shop exclusive Tommy Bahama products only at Bears. You can't buy it for less anywhere else. Guaranteed. In stock, ready for immediate delivery. Tommy Bahama Month, final days.
The area's only 30 minutes or less ER service pledge means you'll find less waiting for the care you need. And because we're full service hospitals, a lot more care if you need it. Less waiting, faster care. Only at Physicians Regional Healthcare System.
Is your auto insurance keeping pace with your life? Ask for a AAA Triple Check Insurance Review to see if your current policy is still a good fit. An agent will assess changes in your life, like new vehicles or drivers. Make sure you've got the right coverage and all the discounts you deserve. They'll also see how a AAA membership can round out your protection on the road. Plus, provide roadside assistance, discounts, free services, and vacation extras. Ask for your AAA Triple Check today.
You've probably noticed an uptick in traffic, a sign our community is starting to swell with seasonal visitors, many looking to spruce up their Florida homes. With the latest in design trends, here's Sue Huff hosting this week's Inspired Living.
John, tell me about this beautiful teal sofa.
This is from the Ariana collection by Lexington. And it's in a Tiffany blue velvet fabric. Isn't it fabulous?
It's fabulous, and it seems oversized to me.
It is oversized. This is one of those sofas that needs to be scaled into the space, ideally by a designer or a salesperson to make sure that it's going to fit.
And you have a complimentary service, a house call, you kind of call it, right?
Absolutely. It's something that we do complimentary, and because to make sure the most important thing is you don't want to make any costly mistakes. You want our client to have a wonderful experience.
Right, so when you're buying something that's oversized, you want to make sure it fits in the elevator, fits in the space,
Correct.
And you do that. Well, tell me more about the sofa, though. It's like I noticed that it has detailing on the front.
This has the detailing tape up front that is a specialty feature that you don't have to have. There's 1,000 different fabrics you can select for this. Also additional fabrics you can select for the throw pillows. So you've got lots of options. We do have a 5-year protection plan.
Yeah, is this, you have this plan?
Right, that's from Uniters. It's something Bears and Uniters work with, and it protects you in case you rip, tear, or puncture the fabric. They'll repair, replace, or give you store credit for each selection.
What about if I have that guest over that's going to spill the red wine?
You're covered.
I'm covered.
It's an accident plan. You're covered.
I'm an accident cover. Well, you know, you have so many beautiful things here in the show, your showroom, over 50,000 square feet,
Yes.
I understand. But you also have the complimentary, you said, design service.
Right.
And we've got something special going on this month, I know.
We have our Lexington month coming up in November.
November is Tommy Bahama
Yes.
month. So we want to make sure everybody comes and checks out those lines.
Absolutely.
And for right now, I think maybe I just want to take this one home with me.
What day would you like it delivered?
Thank you, John.
Thank you so much.
Finally, this isn't good news, it's great news for people who love chocolate anyway. What better way to wrap up this show than by sharing real medical research on the benefits of one of our favorite sweets?
Who doesn't love chocolate? Even if it's not your favorite sweet treat, you can probably agree that the confection conjures thoughts of love, pleasure, and reward. Studies of chocolate lovers and even some self-proclaimed chocoholics suggest that it could lower blood pressure and reduce the risk of heart disease, help control blood sugar, slash stress, and more. The antioxidant and anti-inflammatory power of chocolate is thought to come from a class of plant nutrients found in cocoa beans called flavonoids. Dark chocolate has more of these than milk chocolate, and white chocolate, which does not actually contain chocolate, is not a good source of flavonoids.
Now you won't feel so guilty about raiding your kids' Halloween baskets. That does it for this edition of Behind the Headlines. You can always catch up on past shows by logging on to naplesnews.com. On the left-hand side under Quick Links, select Behind the Headlines. I'm Amy Osher. See you back here next week.
It's really a pleasure knowing a gentleman like Tim. He's always so nice. He's so always really personal. I really enjoy a lot just knowing him.
Very nice. Well, you're doing something right, Tim.
Yeah, I guess so. So what's sales going to do for the Paradise Coast food and wine experience?
Our executive chef Jacob Jasinski is organizing that with the Corinne. So we have already menu that's prepared and everything. So they're in charge of that.
Wait, so let's start right here.
Am I walking too? We're both walking?
Yeah. No, I'm not going to walk in. I'm just getting the cut-up shot.
Okay, but I'm supposed to walk with you, though?
Yeah, wait, let's start back here. We're going to walk into your shot.
I don't need sunglasses, right?
You know, I think that, you know, having some culinary talent and the more talent that we have, the better. I mean, to garner that, not only the local attention, but the regional attention and ultimately the national attention is what's important for us. And I think that to be able to get that attention and to have people realize, hey, we're this gem of a market here in this Paradise Coast, right down from the beach. I mean, you can't go wrong.
No, it's good. It's true. Yeah. Well,
People's
thanks.
mouths drop when they come here and see this. I know we have family in other parts of the state, and they come here and see this, and they're just blown away.
Yeah, it's great. It's great, and we're proud to be here, and you know, we're proud to be a part of it, that growth. So
it should be fun. We're looking forward to it.
Likewise,
well.
I am too.